And we are live. Thank you, wastrels and scoundrels, for joining us on our Friday night Deadlands Hell on Earth post-apocalyptic live stream phenomenon. Certainly, if you've been here for the past 3 episodes, you know that episode 4 is gonna be just a hell of a doozy. Not in the least in which, because we ended with one of our party members being unceremoniously split in half by a massive cannonball, but also because it means we'll be introducing a new party member. And lo, the entirety of the settlement of the Stacks. I'm the Marshal this evening, and every evening here at the League of Gentlemen Explorers, Will Thompson. And with me are 4 friends and companions here to help you be guided through the crazy post-apocalyptic, toxified? Not intoxicated. It's not drunk, right? Intoxicated. There, you just throw a "f" in there. Intoxicated. The Wasted West at the end of the day. There, the irradiated hellscape filled with mutants and raiders in bondage gear and cannibals and wendigos and everything else you could possibly fathom that would be in the Deadlands, plus whatever I can make up. But that being established, we will start this evening like we do every week. Oh, an adventure card. There you go. Wow. Adventure card and a Benny all ready for St. Louis. Are you guys ready for this week's question?
Of course.
Yeah.
I was taunted before the game. Thank you, Toa, GM Benny. That I didn't have time this week. I was in a mad scramble. And that I was going to be unable to come up with a compelling question. Do you think that's true, audience? I don't think so. I think that's nonsense. What is true, in fact, is that tonight's question is, say the bombs never fell. Say you were living your life before the apocalypse. What would you be doing today? Blackfinger, how about you go first?
Blackfinger doesn't even remember before the apocalypse. But
Benny
I
for
guess
Samson,
eating
thank you.
rats.
Blackfinger would be eating rats. Probably, honestly. We're not entirely sure how much the bombs falling had to do with Blackfinger. His family tree might be more of a twig. You get far enough into some of them hollers, and, well, it doesn't require Ghost Rock to make a Blackfinger. Just a lot of love. Who'd like to go next?
Honestly, not even a lot of that.
Not even a lot of lust. That's right, you hit that 18 and over button every time you start to watch this show, folks. There's a reason. That's right, Cousin Diddlin. Who'd like to go next? What would they be doing on this day? Samson, what would you be doing today if the bombs had not fallen?
Samson would be likely on a security detail for the president, chiefs of staff, or Senator Sampson. If not, he would likely be fulfilling primary mission objectives such as hearts and mind, winning over civilians, and calming them in the presence of cyborgs.
I am not sure that your model is the one that they would bring around to schools as the "look, cyborgs aren't scary" model. The whole severed head combat suit look is, maybe they bring the most fucked up one around and see, look, even this one won't hurt you, right? But, yeah,
Pretty sure I looked a little nicer before the war. I was a little more gussied up. I'd have makeup artists and putting wigs on me and make sure I had really good candy.
That's true.
It was to desensitize children towards these scary monsters, to make them not seem as scary when they're trudging around, murdering everything.
Excellent. That makes sense. Fantastic. Thank you, Samson. Who would like to go next?
I can go.
St. Louis, what would you be doing?
St. Louis would be spending time probably with his family down in New Orleans and, Sunday afternoon barbecues and playing with the nieces and nephews as much as possible, I suppose.
Excellent, excellent. Just living a normal life down in New Orleans. Although it should be said, New Orleans is anything but normal.
Of course.
Before and the Deadlands Noir, and then the being south of Mason Dixon was its own kind of affair, certainly. But excellent, thank you, St. Louis. And then last but not least, Sabrina. If the bombs hadn't fallen, what would you be doing today?
Well, bombs were to have fallen. I would be with my sisters. We would have built a vast coven just filled with power. I mean, practicing our craft and putting the men or, the man, like the man in its place.
Right. The man.
Control us.
Yeah, not men, but the metaphorical, the allegorical man. Not men generally.
Man.
No, it wouldn't be a world domination. It would be like a world equalization, where like the Devlins were first and everybody else was in their rightful place, subjugated, right?
They think they can control us.
That's
Burning
true.
our boat, killing my sisters. No, no, not the Devlins. No,
That's
always
true.
Be back. We'll always be here.
That was something of a whoopsie doodle on their part because the world's gone and you're still here. So one of you had it right, and one of you, is now the ruined ashes of a civilization. So one Devlins, I guess. But now you have this kingdom of ash. It's like you get to rule over. Oh, look at this. Oh, irradiated waste. Oh, look at all this debris. Look at all this iron oxide I own,
And us Devlins can make something of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think not.
This question's pretty easy for me. If the bombs hadn't fallen, I would be in my office running a tabletop RPG live stream. Ha! Boom! Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. That's right, little fourth wall. Yeah. But, with that question out of the way, not only do we have our Friday night post-apocalypse Deadlands, but on Wednesday you can take the timeline back 200 years and experience California, in the late 1800s, 1879. Wander around with an undead dude and a gambler and an old surly curmudgeon with one arm that apparently can't shoot for shit. Besides his D12 shooting die, his first dice roll almost went into his leg. It was wonderful. And then, of course, Tuesday night, right, we have our pirate fantasy 50 Fathoms adventure in the turquoise waters of Charybdis. That's been going on quite a while now. Has just realized a story reboot in which it would be a great time to hop on board, matey. So that shop out of the way. Let's talk the events of last week. So, the posse woke up in the remnants of Bone Grinder's fiefdom, right? Which was still Bone Grinder's fiefdom if you consider that they appointed Samson as Bone Grinder, right? And Raider Craig was his lieutenant, right? And Sparks, the junker that had cast his lot with this particular groups of raiders and was building a super weapon on the roof of the structure, had told you guys that he needed desperately a flux capacitor to be able to fire the thing without destroying the building and the surrounding several block radius. Right? That was located in an auto repair shop. That was just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road. Hop, skip, and jump you did indeed. Right? Nearing the auto repair shop, you heard a burst of full auto SMG fire, a rare occurrence out here in the wasted west where cased ammo is a precious commodity, and then screaming as a human was being assaulted by a large group of Mutria. That's right, mutated nutria. It's a portmanteau. It's fancy. Right? These large irradiated rat creatures, missing tufts of fur with crazy ghost rock reinforced fangs, were gnawing their way through the door of the auto repair shop when our heroes took it upon themselves to rescue him, or more precisely, the flux capacitor. Alright? They beat back the Mutria, mostly due to their cannibalistic nature, as one of them fell prey to the attacks of the party. The others seemed to jump on it and devour it, being more hungry than combative ultimately. Nonetheless, some wounds were dealt, mostly to the young Luke Kirby, who was the human that had decided to dump his whole magazine into the street next to some mutated rats, demonstrating both his streetwise and his shooting prowess in one fell swoop. He was thankful to be saved, if not a little baffled by the appearance of the 3-foot-tall mutant man, the girl from the craft, and, Samson, of course. And, was barely coming to his senses, right, when the smokestacks of the Delta Queen were apparent, and it was clear that they were coming to research why somebody had wasted all that precious ammo, and whether or not they could get that firearm for themselves. The party was quick to abscond with the flux capacitor, but then, there was a wild and woolly chase. Jet skis came ripping over a ramp, splashing down beside them, hails of fire from their black powder muskets ringing over their heads as they raced through the boggy canals of the bayou that was the swampy marsh outside of the stacks. Right? I mean, there were explosions, there were Wilhelm screams, there were dudes getting their faces blown off and crashing into other dudes, backflips on jet skis, screaming skulls firing willy-nilly left and right, terrible and amazing driving both. And they found themselves finally escaping their pursuers, who perhaps due less to the skill of the chasees, and more due to the fact that they didn't want to get too far away from the Delta Queen, pulled off their chase. And they pulled into the stacks sometimes later, confident they had lost their pursuers, with twilight growing, getting onto the dock with Luke giving the signal to the watchtowers to avoid being fired on by the hunting rifles that guarded the exterior wall. Right? And Fisk got out of the boat and went to stretch and was immediately cut in half by a cannon shot that was fired so far away that it took a half second for the report to reach you. So it was just guts, a spinning torso, and then the boom, right? And the Delta Queen was upon you. So, that's pretty much, that's what happened in a nutshell. And that leaves us literally at that moment. The thick bugs, the peaty smell of the boggy, thick water, as deep as 60 feet in parts around you. The recessed stories of some of the buildings of the stack sinking into your line of sight, disappearing just a couple of feet below the surface where the scum of algae built up on top hasn't obfuscated the view into dark water completely. The additional smell suddenly filling the air is the atomized bits of Fisk, right? Rich and coppery in their tang as they splatter your faces, right? And his upper torso sloshes unceremoniously into the thick bog. His lower torso still going to take the steps that he started before flopping down on the dock and convulsing twice. There are shouts from the guard towers, but not shots. Lights are lit in both the towers and a bell sounds from somewhere in the interior of the stacks. Give me a notice roll, everybody.
Even I.
Yes, even you. Ooh, wunderbar. Excellent. Alright, so Samson, of course, due to the hostile flagging of your combat sensors, all of your extrasensory gear kicks in, right? Rustily creaking target grids come online, right? And you immediately spot in the darkness in the distance 6 silhouetted figures in the stacks running to and fro in what seems to be a well-rehearsed series of maneuvers. None of them are armed. St. Louis, you heard a cannon shot and look over and see your companion Ishmael, right? A elderly gentleman in his 50s, salt and pepper, right? Wearing the same Crusader's tabard that you are. You've known Ishmael now 6-7 months, right? You were taken under his wing on your first expedition out, and this is supposed to be your grand releasing into the world, right? You are taken several miles since with your mentor, right? They give you a statement of fealty, right? Some ritual that isn't fully explained to you until it actually transpires, right? And then you go about Templaring until you return to Boise in an urn or, with your sword in your hand. But, that being said, he is like the Qui-Gon Jinn to your Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right? And there you go, Ryan. Ryan's face lights up. I get this now. Oh, yeah.
So he cheats at dice, and I know
Nerd! Yes, he definitely cheats at dice. He has been an old friend, a font of wisdom, and a staunch companion that has proven the deftness of his sword hand time and time again, as well as the fealty of his wisdom and the strength of both his resolve and his reserve. He's not a hot-headed individual, which makes him falling for the raider trap a week ago that grievously wounded his thigh. Very uncharacteristic and unusual. It wasn't especially tricky. They had run into the ruins, right? He cleared the doorway without checking the spring-loaded trap, whipped around and shoved a sharpened thigh bone into his own thigh. Right, you managed to staunch the bleeding with a tourniquet and use his own magic healing on himself, but an infection has taken root, and he is ill, and not seeming ready for combat. That being said, it was about 4 days hence that you found your way to the stacks, and they took you in without thought before you revealed you were Templars, right? Which, according to the code of conduct of your people, means that, they're darn tootin', right? And they have explained that they have been having trouble with some raiders recently. They've been having to give all the crops they've been growing, along with scavenged ammo, to a group of mutant raiders called the Gators, right? Led by one Al Gathers, a thick-skinned, leathery, 8-foot-tall fellow that resembles a crocodile himself, hence the nom de guerre. Right, and Ishmael agreed for you that this would be a excellent test of your service. And that was, 2 or 3 days ago now, when he was feeling a little better. But the fever has started to take hold, and despite his training as a healer and your magics, he is in no state to combat as he rises from the cot, reaching for his sword to steady himself.
Why don't you just stay down, sir?
That is not the way, Ishmael.
You're referring to yourself in the third person again. I think you
you're right. I'm so feverish. It's maybe you're actually correct. My God, and he collapses into a heap. Yes. Yeah.
I can take care of this. I'm confident in my abilities. You have taught me well.
It is not my teachings that will guide you, but the strength of your own arm. Prove yourself and come back. Don't make a fool of me.
You have my word.
And he lies back down on the cot, although this time with his sword cradled to his chest. It is different than most of the swords that people are issued of your order. Right, most of you have long swords with a custom engraving. This is much older, right? It looks like it was originally a weird science device. Right? It has Uriel's Wrath engraved in it, and a tank that looks like at one point historically it held Ghost Rock. Right, it doesn't look like it would serve any function anymore. When asked about it, he just said it was a hand-me-down, and didn't really go further into it. But he's definitely clutching it close to his chest as you leave the confines of the living quarters in which you find yourself set up. Speaking of the living quarters in which you find yourself set up, they is here. As you guys ready yourselves for the attack from the Delta Queen, several townspeople seem to be scurrying towards you with crates and wicker baskets. They are loaded with corn and tomatoes and jars of pickled vegetables and some sacks of grain. Alright, and they're bringing them to the end of the dock. They notice your party at the end of the dock, right, and say, "It's all here. It's all here. Just take it. You don't have to fire any more on us. We're here to pay."
Did you kill our friend?
Wait, did they just come up to us?
Yeah.
You are mistaken. We are here to terminate the Gators. We are not affiliated.
Well, now, don't be causing no trouble. If you ain't friends of theirs, you gotta get out of sight. If they see you, there's gonna be trouble.
I expect trouble. They will be annihilated.
Well, expect trouble somewhere else, mister. This ain't the place for it. We got women and children here.
Luke Kirby instructed us to come here.
Luke says, "Now, I didn't. Now, I didn't. Now, that's not entirely true. I said that you might be welcome. I didn't say you could come here and be causing no troubles. Now,
Would you wish me to fabricate lies further?
I would wish for you to get out of sight. We all got to get out of sight. They was just chasing us. They're gonna blow the shit out of the stacks."
Very well. He then starts crouching down and he's grabbing the parts of the corpse around him and dragging it away as well.
Just the legs.
While all of that was happening, I was going to ask if Blackfinger could make a scavenge check on Fisk's body.
I tell you to retrieve the Ghost Rock data slug.
Most of the good stuff on Fisk's body was on his upper torso, right? Where his backpack was, his duster was. Some of it was clearly cannonballed, but the rest of it is now slowly sinking into the brackish waters below you. That, again, in spots, are as deep as 60 feet. Now, if you would love to make a scavenge roll, you could first give me a swimming roll to jump on in there.
No,
Could I grab him and reach over with my reach and, like, hang him by his foot down into it?
Could you drown Blackfinger anytime you wanted? Yes, Samson.
Okay.
Can you swim, Blackfinger?
No.
No.
I could probably lean over with you in my hand and give you a little extra oomph.
No, I mean, like, it's weighted down with gear. It's thinking you know where it is, assuming something doesn't start to snack on it, but...
I'm gonna quickly bite my thumb and then put a drop of blood on his head, say a quick incantation. It's going to start glowing red, and he is going to have basically a red door open for him that he will be able to
Thanks,
survive
Freddy.
the water.
That
Do it
does
now.
what again? I'm sorry?
Do it quick.
Yeah, I'm not
It
sure either. I gotta actually read.
Elemental survival?
You're able to travel in all environments. You're able to be protected from the crushing depths of.
Oh yeah,
all
that
the poison,
environmental
the
protection.
powers.
Yeah.
You're able to breathe, speak, and move all at normal. It doesn't protect against attacks or anything, but environment, you're good.
Let's get the spell casting roll, please. Cheat. Oh, you hit him with the screaming skulls, and He bursts into flame. It's horrific. It's the end of days. More character art, really.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah, no.
That's
And
much better.
nothing on a raise here, I don't think. Yeah, all right. Excellent. So, yeah. She touches you with her blood after biting her thumb, and a glowing red door opens in front of you that you can traverse to then be immune to the effects of underwater.
Okay, so I can just kind of walk in there and give you my scavenging roll now?
Yeah, you still have to, like, swim.
to you
You
first.
just won't, like, drown, you know?
I could tie a rope to you.
That's true, yeah. Does anybody have rope on their person?
Quick look.
Let me look.
At this moment, St. Louis comes walking up, grabbing rope from the end of the boat dock where there would be rope. Having overheard the conversation. Not sure why they are trying to get the little tiny mutant man into the water, but thinking that this might help.
Sounds like y'all might be able to use something like this.
Ah, perfect. Thank you.
Most helpful, sir.
He like waddles over and grabs it and starts tying it around his waist. And then gives one like nodding look at Samson like, you got this.
Oh yeah, Samson is ready to catch a whale.
And he just
Like, he
flings you
could.
like a mace,
Yeah.
just
I just chuck you into the water and
Just-
I go fishing.
casts you out like a...
Did anybody tell him I mentioned it?
Are you harming that child?
Yeah, no, no.
He consented. It's okay.
Are you walking through the red door, Blackfinger? You need to...
yeah, I'm walking
okay,
through the
good.
door.
Just checking. I need to...
This is Blackfinger, my chief technical advisor.
He says as he throws him into the swamp with a rope tied around his waist.
He is attempting to retrieve a valuable ghost steel data slug.
All right, simple swimming roll. Oh yeah, that was a little... Apparently having all your fingers and toes webbed is a good thing. But yeah, you start diving down there. Now a notice roll at a -1, because you underwater.
Nope.
You want to Benny that?
Yep. At a -1.
I thought you were really good at those.
Yeah. I mean, man, you want to spend another Benny on that?
One
They
more.
did. Yeah, Toa.
Still nothing.
At least
Yeah,
somebody gave-
now, I mean, you start swimming down. Oh, another Benny for Blackfinger. Oh, 2 Bennies for Blackfingers. They really want you to find that corpse.
Okay, well then if you're handing them out, I will do it.
Excellent.
Right.
Only it's at a -1, so not at all. No.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I got one more Benny.
Yeah. Okay, we get it.
Benny.
Okay, we get it.
Alright, you're gonna find shit that no one has ever seen.
Right,
before.
yeah. No doubt. Jimmy Hoffa is hugging Elvis, right? Wrapped around Fisk's palm quarter. No, you don't see anything until you face plant right into Fisk's torn torso, but now it's clearly within reach, and you could wrap him up and tug the rope and pull the whole thing back up and get everything off him with that roll.
Cool. Okay.
Give me another notice roll. Hey, there you go, flat. As you're pulled out of the water, you're not entirely certain, but it felt like there was a sudden pressure change beneath you, real rapid. Like, you know.
Something was swimming down there.
Well, I mean, you have been chumming the waters with Fisk and, splashing around with your little mutant arms. I'm sure the combination of those two things,
Do you wish to investigate further?
No, pull me
thank you,
out.
Moon Ripples, yeah.
Yes, thanks for the bennies, everybody.
Nice.
20% of the time it works every time, you know? Fantastic. Fantastic. So we have recovered Fisk's soggy corpses. Entrails roping back into the water as he's hauled up with Blackfinger.
I'm gonna help gather all of his bits up.
Excellent. Why don't you give me a strength roll, Sabrina? You are engaged in a tug of war with it for a second. Something snatches it and pulls, and you pull up, and you manage to get about 10 feet of entrails up with you before the cleanly bit end of it comes whipping out of the water.
Understandable. These are quite tasty.
The boats from the Delta Queen, right, are disembarking. It appears as though they have 2 Spook Juice powered away boats, each one of them with 4 guys in it. While up the dock comes an elderly woman using a cane with what appears to be a double-barrel shotgun built into it. Comes down the dock and she says, "Now who in the hell are you people?"
Blackfinger scurries behind Samson's foot.
Please refer to the young Luke Kirby for that answer. I've been advised to not speak and stay out of the way.
Well, now, Miss Reynard, it's I found these folks when I was out doing the reconnoitering.
Reconnaissance mission.
Reconnaissance me. They what saved my life. They did. It wouldn't be the first time someone's had to. God damn it, Kirby, what were you doing out there? And well, now I was trying to find the base of them gators so we could plot that counterattack like I heard you talking about. You weren't even in that meeting, Kirby. You out there risking your life. Is that the goddamn SMG, Kirby? Oh, now I can explain now. I couldn't go out there. You shouldn't have been out there. Get your ass off my dock, she says, and swats him with the shotgun cane as he goes rolling back. She eyeballs you all. She said, "Y'all a weird group of some bitches, but I gotta thank you for saving the boy. He's a little bit slow, but he's alright enough. Now, who the hell is you?"
Friendly group of travelers?
A friendly group of travelers.
We found Luke.
Wandering with a scrap heap and a mutant?
Well, I mean, you gotta make friends where they are.
I reckon. Is the biggin friendly then?
Almost definitely.
Is
U.S. Army SISOG. Here to
Is-
serve and protect.
his protocol still active?
As
All
Samson's
intact.
saying that, Blackfinger climbs up his body and pats him on the head.
Well, that is less reassuring than I think that little bastard thinks it might be. But if the gators don't like you, I reckon you all best get out of sight while we do this here transaction.
Where should we
Sam.
go?
Samson ducks down and creeps away.
Creeps away on the wooden swaying dock that heaves and submerges under every footstep, crouching down to a full 8 feet. Yes, very stealthy, Samson. Thank you. There is a building complex just behind the where the living quarters are, right where the arrow's pointed there. And you guys pull far enough back now, out of sight, that you see the gators roll up in their longboats, and you hear an angry exchange of words. All right, one of them backhands the lady with the cane, who doesn't take too kindly to it, but doesn't respond back with violence, right? And soon they are away with all of the crates of provisions. She comes, oh, guard, what? Oh, shit. Sorry, Sabrina, I totally missed that.
Test.
It's alright.
Wait, I know that guy. Hero is able to improve the attitude of a group in an encounter. Perhaps by recognizing, well, I mean, their attitude isn't terrible, unless you mean the gators.
Well,
Because that's not, no, they're in a different kind of.
no, I meant it for the grand.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, okay.
walking up.
Yeah, that's my bad. I missed that. But no, she's fine with you all. She's grateful
Yeah.
you say the kids like her, you know, It's her dumb son, her adopted son.
Okay.
So, you know, like, she's pissy and gruff, but certainly not like, you know,
But
she
mature.
understands the tin can, and, you know, she doesn't like mutants, but as long as he's not of that cult of doom, you know,
Yep,
everything's
yep.
alright.
Yep.
She comes sauntering back with a busted lip and a sour expression on her face. Spitting, a little tinged with blood there. Them fucking sons of bitches. I'm gonna show them. Blow that goddamn boat out the water if I ever find it. Alright, back to y'all now. You tell me it's just happen chance you wind up here, what, the same time as the Gators come, a day before they're supposed to be here for their collecting?
Do you wish for us to leave?
I mean, that's entirely up to you there, Rusty.
Yes, let's leave.
Alright, cheers, y'all. That's
It was
yeah, fuck this module. Yeah.
gather up our friends.
Yeah, you know, just get everybody in. I guess take this new NPC with you for no reason in particular, aside from the fact that now I don't like the way they look, so, yeah, no.
Hey, but Blackfinger only has one thing on his mind, and that's pulling the lever that fires that gun on top of the building back where we were before.
Right, fair. Well, now, y'all do look like you know which end of a gun to point at someone. She's gonna get a notice wrong here. She's gonna Benny that. I want her to get that. Oh my god. She's going to use her last Benny on this notice roll. Yeah! Yay! She notices the force amplification mace on Samson's side. Right? And why don't Blackfinger Samson? Yeah, everybody give me a notice roll. Blackfinger's daydreaming about that giant-ass gun on the roof of the complex. Right, Sabrina St. Louis Sampson. You notice her tense up and click the safety off of the shotgun staff. And she says, say now, where'd that rust bucket get that there fancy hammer from?
You can speak to me directly, ma'am. My name is Samson. That is my designation.
I would try and save my words for the living there, partner, if it's all the same to you.
Well, he took it.
Took it from
A bone drinker.
Bone Drinker.
Yes, he tried to drink my bones.
See, the thing is here, that was made by Mr. Tinsdale here. Out of one of our industrial jacks. And fella named, oh god, what's his name? Raider Craig ran off with this thing about 4 months ago. We ain't
Craig
seen
like to drink bones?
no, but he was a little into his controlled substances. He liked to get into his cups.
Well,
I would give you more intel, but you will refuse to speak to me, so I will remain silent.
You should go see Mr. Tinsdale there, Rusty. He would like a
Something
gander
maybe.
at you.
maybe Craig is bone drinker.
Well, Bone Drinker is dead.
You are bone drinker now.
Say what now? So you took it from Bone Drinker, but Sprocket here is Bone Drinker? How about this? How about you, lady? You're human. What in the hell's going on here?
Well, you see, there was a bunch of raiders, and this here fine robot man helped save us, as well as me and him, and that gentleman who once now held that weapon is no longer existing, and we're hoping to make it a little
What's
bit
his name?
better.
Craig?
I don't believe it was. it was Bone Drinker, I think, because
Ain't no one's
oh, that
mama
had
named him Bone Drinker.
well, he had a wonderful recipe for bone juice, and
Holy hell! Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
This is quite a tale.
Paul. Hell yeah, it is.
Ask
So-
a question.
Yeah.
Craig is the lieutenant that I put in charge, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He ran off
I-
with the force amplification mace. Got it taken by Bone Drinker. Was too much of a bitch to really. Oh yeah, sure, Bone Drinker. Yeah, that's the story.
Ma'am, would you like me to fetch Craig for you?
Well, now, I can't say that I would be adverse to such, but we currently find ourselves with a bigger fish need frying. A gator, to be specific.
Please point the direction of the gentleman that would like to see me.
Mr. Tinsdale, Mr. Rupert Tinsdale. He's the, town engineer of sorts. Has himself a workshop and a scrapyard. I suppose from the look of the little feller there, he might find himself more inclined to peruse the scrapyard. But,
Yeah, Blackfinger's like jumping up and down on Samson's shoulder, holding his ear. Like, come on, let's go, let's go.
I start moving forward slowly.
now, I have to recommend that y'all don't attempt no violence. While we were not, trying to get into no quarrel with the gators now, I don't want you under the impression that we are unable to defend what's ours.
Just nods.
Yeah,
You're, you're free to wander around here for a while. How about you come up here when the sun is at its highest tomorrow? Mr. Kirby here will show you the quarters you can occupy for the night, and we will discuss a job offer of sorts. Well, assuming you can use that force amplification mace and that wrist crossbow, and they're not just for looks. We paying in food and munitions.
wonderful. Thank
Kirby!
you very much.
Off to the scrapyard.
Get your ass over here, boy! You show them living quarters. Make sure the ones what eat get something to eat. Get a power outlet or something for the big. I don't eat shit. Tinsdale know what's up. Alright, y'all in the Tin Man Beyond now. I got planning to do. As you leave, you see her enter her office. Notice rules for everybody except for St. Louis, who is going into the office as well. Excellent, Samson. Yeah, no, you're still in combat mode. You know, so many targets, so many biosignatures around here. Anybody could be hostile at any second. Reminds you of that time in Space Fallujah, you know, back in 2065. You know what? You know. At any rate,
Colonies. Yeah.
right. You see a like 5-foot tall goat man in there, absolutely hairless, right? Talking frantically with a stern 6'4" crew cut gentleman with a nice cybernetic implant. You get a read on his rifles. They are very late Hailstrom Industries tech, caseless munitions. One of which was an experimental sniper rifle that only saw service in the last 2 months of the war, never mass-produced. The other one, a sidearm capable of doing a caseless 3-round burst. These are interesting. Well, now, I'm not sure that you would have the world note. Blackfinger didn't notice, so yeah. Sabrina, there's like totally a dude in there and a little goat dude in there.
Oh my god, a goat dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I happen to hear anything that's being said?
The little one, right, is saying, one day we'll return to the moon. The big one's just grunting. Somebody needs to shut this one up so we can talk about plans. St. Louis. You have known both the little goat fellow and the tall soldier fellow for a few days now. The tall soldier fellow is a stern fellow of few words, goes by Bastion. Right. Noteworthy because he is carrying the Hellstrom industry tech that would only be found coming out of Denver, which means that it is gene keyed to him, which means that he was at one point in his life a member of the Combine. Right? Which means that the chip in the back of his head should have long since exploded, but it has not for some reason. Another weird thing about him is that he claims to have been frozen and then woken up after the bombs fell. He was part of a secret project that went awry. He doesn't talk much about it, but he said he fell in with the wrong people, thinking they were into some things that they weren't. And now he's here trying to right some wrongs. You know. Why is my voice like this? Maybe it's the chip they put in the back of my neck. Maybe it's just because I eat gravel for breakfast. You know, one of those guys.
He's super edgy.
Lewis is unimpressed.
Mm-hmm. Melvin asked you how your Aunt Charlene was the first time you spoke. Your Aunt Charlene, of course, died of heart failure before the bombs fell. Right, you only knew her until you were like 7 years old. It was literally, he walked up to you and appraised you with his big goat eyes. Let me pull up his image here for full effect. Oh my god. Thompson, you are just the worst GM ever. You know what people like to do? They like to wait while you pull up references that you should have already had on lock. That's everybody's favorite thing, I think. I mean, that's how I go about it, at least. Oh, and we're gonna crash. That's I'm gonna pull up the image file and it's gonna give me an error. No, that's that's precisely what I wanted. Fantasy Grounds Unity for $140. I love it so much. It's bien, huh? Oh, so I'd have to rename it. Are you kidding me? Huh? Yay, that'll work. Alright, let me pull the goat dude up here. Yeah. Now the audience can see him. And now you can see him. Yeah. He looked like this. And the first time he came up to you, he looked at you, completely hairless with his big eyes and the big grin, and said, "How's your Aunt Charlene doing?"
Well, Charlene believed in a beautiful afterlife, and I believe she's enjoying it.
She told me it was dark. And he walks off. That's your first encounter. Every time you've seen him, he's been very, like that. I mean, that's the vibe you get from the guy. Like, he's having conversations with people that only he can see, but is also strangely prophetic. Alright. The other fellow, again, very stern, very taciturn. Doesn't really reveal about himself, but they have signed on to help this town with the gator problem themselves. Alright, which you'll note if we count the 4 of you, and then the 2 of them, and then the sickly Ishmael, that would have been 7 scavengers assisting a town having a problem with bandits. No references to anything there. Thank you, Friday. Yeah, that's what we call that reappropriation, baby. Yeah. But with that established, so far, St. Louis, the plan has been to find one of the outbases that you assume the Gators have. They have a main base of operation you haven't been able to nail down, but they have several outposts where they leave people for supply runs, day camps, things like that, right? When they're planning offensive pushes into new territory. The plan so far has been able to locate one of those and to get one of the Gators in charge in a room alone with Melvin, the psychic, I didn't know if I ever said his name. His name is Melvin the Psychic.
I knew the Melvin part. I assumed
Yeah.
the psych.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he introduces himself. When he does tell people his name, it is with the title, The Psychic. He's very proud of that part.
The one Melvin that is the psychic.
Yes, the one Melvin that is a psychic, and also a 5-foot-tall goat man. Yeah. Absolutely hairless. Which is interesting, because when you think goat man, right, you think goatee, right? You think satyr, you know, you get the... Yeah, he has the whole cloven hoof thing going on. Not a single follicle of hair on him. In fact, he's slightly shiny with a slick sheen of sweat at all times.
The Michael Berryman of Goatman.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, perfect alopecia. Mm-hmm. And he's been very unnerving, but he's like, yes, I'll tell you what there is to know. I don't know about the little guy, but, I mean, he knew the name of my elementary school, and I sure as hell didn't reveal that intel.
I don't know if that's considered intelligence, but to each their own.
At any rate, that is the established plan so far. You have been personally offered 50 rounds of cased ammunition in fireable form, and one of 4 calibers, which is, like, that is a payday and a half. Not only do you get to fire them, but you get the brass, too. Like, my God. You get to that is a payday. Right, uh-oh, he crashed all together in all formats? My goodness. We have lost Samson temporarily. His whole not just I thought it was just Fantasy Grounds, but not just Fantasy Grounds, ladies and gentlemen. Like, all of it. So we are going to take our mid-show break at the 3rd show instead tonight, even though this wasn't exactly, I mean, you know, I had a narrative point later that I was trying to capture at the mid-show break. So, you know, that's a demerit, Samson. But stick with us. Thank you so much for watching so far. If you like what you see, how about following the channel, right? How about following the Twitter? How about joining... Back. Oh, now he's back? What in the Sam hell? Well, that was too fast. Oh, now we're in different spots? Oh, my God.
Gosh, I have a song. My computer restarts really fast. It just crashed. I don't know why.
All right, well, we're going to take our mid-show break. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Connection to the satellite in hell on Earth is always patchy. And we haven't even gotten to the fact that it's sentient yet. Oh, that's so much fun. But please stick with us for our mid-show break, and we'll be back when we solve these technical issues. I really need the, like, technical issues, like a little guy. Oh, dee, 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 dee. You know, when I get my design aspects down with all the new character art, then we'll move on to the, we're sorry, with the monkey with the cables. Oh, you know. All right, we'll be back. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through our technical difficulties. Again, I'll get a little monkey pulling cables. You know, screen. We'll get a technical difficulty screen up. I clearly need one for every show, and that one doesn't. They'd be themed still because I'm super extra. They don't have to. They wouldn't have to be themed necessarily. That's just my own. You know, it's my own obsessiveness. At any rate, we're back. We're ready. We're in the stacks. They have a gator problem, as has been explained to St. Louis, but not yet to the other three party members who wander off through the stacks. Now we can tell from the map that there are a few buildings. You have been advised by Luke Kirby. It definitely is, John. It definitely is. They gotta be themed, you know. That it would be best if you did not go to the farm, right? That you limited your transversal to, well, I mean, this section of the map. Oh Lord, that just drags a big square. That's fine. Over here. That you don't go over to the civilian quarters. You don't go over to where they grow the food. And that if you go to Mr. Tinsdale's workshop or the scrapyard, that you do so with an escort. Outside of that, you are free to go to the meager market. You are free to go to Shady Sadie's saloon, or you are free to find your living quarters. Brian, we cannot hear you. Oh.
Scrapyard, scrapyard, scrapyard.
We must gather a escort first, as per directed.
Blackfinger looks around to see if there's any, like, security around.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Kirby's walking with you, certainly. I don't know if I would refer to him as security, per se, but...
Someone that looks like I could convince them to escort us to the scrapyard.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sampson?
Yes. Would you be sufficient and kind enough to escort us to Mr. Rupert's and the scrapyard?
Yeah, I reckon I could do that. What would you need at the scrapyard, though?
I need of nothing, but my companion needs technical equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's not precisely free for the taking, but, I mean, I'm sure he could work out something with Mr. Oh, I mean, that'd be up to Mr. Tinsdale. I mean, he's something of an engineering, what's the word? Engineering, wunderkind. That's, yeah, he's whip smart.
Excellent. We will visit Mr. Rupert and negotiate with him.
Yeah, I reckon we could do that. I don't think he'd probably be in the workshop at this here time, but I mean that's yeah.
Samson has the giant bag of 100 blenders.
Yeah.
Ordering tools.
I totally forgot that you are literally wandering around with a bag of like 80 blenders. Yeah.
And the mace.
And the mace, yeah, no, that probably would have drawn more eyes earlier. And I've been like, and he's carrying a Santa's bag made out of a tarp that he has wrapped around 80 or so blenders. Yeah, in various states of disrepair with the engines, you know, and some removed and, you know, the...
Most of them bloody.
Yeah, most of them bloody and, you know, the blades dinged up and... Yeah, Sure, well, yeah, certainly. Yeah, you wander across the swaying rope bridges. They go of varying amounts of height. You know, some of them hug the water 5 foot off. Some of them go as high as 60 feet off the water, depending which floor of the structure has been cleared out and stabilized and is used for paths. Most of the bottom floors closest to the water in the buildings aren't used. They flood frequently with the changing of the tides, so most of the inhabited structures are second and third floor off the water. The central town square building has all the floors occupied, and the bottom floor of the scrapyard, you note as you pass it, is occupied, but it seems to be filled with large pieces of machinery that would withstand water damage, old furnaces, bits of generators, stuff like that. As you come up to Mr. Tinsdale's workshop, that is marked by a simple wooden sign with workshop put on top of it and bits of scrap metal to spell out workshop. Luke Kirby says, y'all wait here for a minute. I need to make sure that he's not in the middle of something, that he's not doing something, what's the goddamn, he's not doing something secret. And, he opens the door and, slides inside. And, you guys wait outside for an uncomfortable amount of time. 3 minutes turns into 5 minutes, 5 minutes turns into 7 minutes. And finally, the door slides open. He says, Mr. Tinsdale will see you now.
I hunch down to go through the door and step in.
Excellent.
Finger scurries through Samson's legs and looks inside.
It is clear that this is the workshop of a man that knows his way around tools. In contrary to what you would expect in the post-apocalypse, like a junker's mad assemblage of bits and pieces, there's an orderly shelf system. All the wrenches hang on the wall in precise locations. There aren't random bits of scrap hanging out. There's a box that's just filled with spark plugs,
What about that? Blackfinger immediately starts going to every shelf and just picking things up and looking at it and putting it back down in the wrong spot.
Excuse me.
Completely ignores him.
I said excuse me. It's customary to ask before you go through a man's possessions.
Blackfinger's still just looking through things.
I pick him up.
I apologize for my technician. He is exuberant.
You're a fine bit of work yourself, aren't you there? Rupert Tinsdale. He's no spring chicken himself. He's, mid-50s, a bit younger than the female marshal, but aged himself, meticulously cleaned and appointed, cleanly shaven, groomed eyebrows, hair kept. He is, kinda sticks out like a sore thumb. He's as clean as his space, with the exception of the grease on his coveralls and hands.
Samson carefully gives 2 fingers to him for a handshake, offering it up carefully, leans down and hands 2 fingers, to give a handshake.
It's been a minute since I've seen one of you working, he said, and returns the gesture.
U.S. Army SciStock, Special Operations and Secret Service to the Department of the Interior.
Oh, yeah, that's a fancy title, all right. We didn't much care for you in the CSA. That's a long time ago now, he says, and turns around.
All of a sudden, Samson bristles a little bit when he hears that.
What brings you now to the stacks?
We are here to eliminate the threat of the Gators, and to return this to you. Perhaps there is a reward?
He pulls off the piece.
Huh. I didn't think I'd see that again there. Still working, too. Ooh, a little bit messier than when I last saw it, though, he says, examining it. Looks like it's been working. I have no need for this. Thank you.
Thank you. Perhaps you have use for these. Thud.
On the ground.
Heavy blender south of Sacramento.
Now, that is a peculiar thing to approach a fellow wit now. But, yeah, I suppose We could set something to that. He kicks it open. He says, "Oh, some of these are quite used now. Looks like one of these might have been utilized to make a handshake."
Huh.
Like a bit of fingertip with the nail still lodged in the blade at the bottom of it, you know?
That's correct.
I suppose I
It
might
was
find a purpose.
It was confiscated by a threat to the region.
Confiscated by a threat to the region. So you're a threat to the region, are you?
Oops, I said that wrong.
No, it was confiscated from a threat to the region.
I say.
And I'll deliver it for you. My companion here, Blackfinger, wishes to look through the scrapyard.
I figure I could trade fair weight. We get these blenders here, Wade. We figure out how much they are. He can take that amount of scrap out the yard. There ain't nothing too dangerous out there. Not even for a peculiar-looking fellow such as him.
Sir, may I ask? We are looking for a particular device to detect radiation, so I can protect my party more efficiently.
You talking about a Geiger counter?
He just nods.
Now, there's a pretty penny here in the wasted west. But it just so happens that I find myself a man in a predicament, the likes of which, in the entirety of the 7 years I've been running the stacks, never before encountered. These gators, they are a threat to our way of life. They demand more and more sustenance from me and my people. And even with the innovations we have managed to pull from the scrap we pull from the wastelands of Culver City, we have been unable to meet up with their demand. And if it keeps up, by the time fall hits, we're going to be looking like a bunch of faminites. Now,
Do you care if we eliminate the threat for you?
Now, that is a matter that requires a fair bit of discretion now, isn't it? Now, if I just went off half-cocked and I said that any old tin man that came wandering through here with aspirations of military glory would find himself capable of taking care of this threat, well, then, I mean, the threat would have been done with 5 or 6 braggarts ago. Right? What I need is a plan, and I've been formulating just such a plan. What I lack at this current moment is manpower to do so. There's about 10 firearms in this whole establishment. You understand? And about 4 people that can shoot worth half a damn, excluding myself and the marshal. And while I'm getting on in the years, it ain't the shot I used to be. But with the assistance of you and some of the other folks now I've gathered, I can reckon we can set this plan forward into motion. You can find yourself a Geiger counter in addition to 50 rounds apiece.
And I can still look through the scrapyard?
Yeah, like I said, feller, you wait for weight. We'll weigh up them blenders. You can take weight out the scrap. Hope you like copper wire.
Acceptable.
He just kind of starts like rubbing his hands together.
Well, why don't you go on and meet...
May I add one additional addendum to the reward? If we
One
follow this plan.
additional addendum to the reward. Well, I do find myself at a bit of a disadvantage currently, what being in need of 10-foot-tall murder machines. Even if they do have your particular taint.
Simple request. A decent firearm in which to use the ammunition.
Well, now, I said we had 10 firearms across the whole town now. We got 2 pump shotguns, we got 3 hunting rifles, and a variety of pistols. I'll tell you what. You take care of these here gators, and you can have any one of those firearms for your personal collection, along with whatever amount of the ammo you got coming to chamber the thing.
acceptable.
Alright, now go on talk to Miss Reynard now. She'll have more details for y'all. Let that little one get through the scrapyard. Talk to Shady Larry, he'll do the weighing. He should be milling about there and somewhere doing something.
Shady Larry.
Thank you.
I pick up my bag and go to the scrapyard. I'm going to leave the bag with him so he can take his time going through the scrapyard, get everything weighed out, and just come and get me when you're done. And I will go and inform all the others of the plan and speak with, I guess, Miss Reynard. Is that okay, Blackfinger?
Yes, I stay here with the scrap.
Multitasking. Acceptable.
And Blackfinger just runs off into the scrapyard, leaving the blenders at the front door.
At the front door of...
Of the scrap, like,
Oh, okay. So you're running
so
to the
they can get weighed
scrapyard.
out.
Alright, yeah. Shady Larry is the husband of Shady Sadie. Right? He's not actually Shady, but she runs Shady Sadie, so they call him Shady Larry because she's kind of the... She wears the pants in that relationship, you understand. And he is a greasy fellow, mid-30s, lanky. Alright, wearing your post-apocalyptic goggles, he's got the full-on scrapper, scavenger, wastelander look going on, and is happy to appraise the blenders. Did we say it was 80 pounds of blenders? Is that what we said? Yeah, so feel free, Blackfinger, to 80 pounds of literally any non-weapon piece of scrap you can think of.
Maybe a pound or two less. I'm gonna go through and pick out my favorite looking blender as a trophy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. 79.
Could you perhaps mount that blender on you?
If you behave
Oh
yourself.
my god, just turn Samson into like a margarita maker.
Her hands.
A man.
Out of my little tinny speakers, Margaritaville starts playing whenever I start making.
A mangarita maker?
I'll be good.
Mangarita, come on. Mangarita, come on. Come on, Mangarita, audience.
Welcome to Margaritaville.
I like it.
Excellent.
Will, you said non-weapon item?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's like components or whatever, feel free to load up on components. Right? It's a field day in there. Right? Like, literally up to your weight of godforsaken nonsense. There. Mind you, Samson isn't with you, so have fun dragging 80 pounds of shit out of there with your 20-pound weight capacity total. But,
I figured I would pile it up by the front door and wait for Samson to get back.
Yeah, that tracks.
Which I intend to do after I kind of push this forward. I'll go and find the two of them, fill them in my typical fashion on what just transpired, and encourage them to come with me at the request of Mr. Tinsdale to speak with Miss Raynar again.
Mm-hmm. So, we are going to advance the clock. Alright, unless anybody has anything pressing they would like to do. We will, it was in the evening, sun was going down when we got here, a couple hours have passed. You all are bunked in the same quarters, alright, with a sickly elderly man wearing a tabard hugging a sword who appears so out of it that he doesn't even notice when the 10-foot-tall robot man enters the room, or the 3-foot-tall man, goes over and starts poking him, or, any of the things that transpire. And the evening passes, and it is time now to meet Sheriff Renard.
I
Yeah.
just shut it down for 4 hours and then sit and guard them with my crossbow and guard the scrap. For the remaining 4, the people are just sleeping.
Identify yourself. You have 3 seconds to comply. Yeah, just don't get up to take a leak in the middle of the night when Samson's,
Ishmael just tries to challenge Samson to a pod race.
Right.
For the
It's true. Yeah.
Holy heck.
Yeah.
That's
No, he is out of it. Yeah. But, yeah, so next morning, we are all at Reynard's office when she lays out the plan as was discussed to St. Louis to everybody. You all are to venture forth together, now unfortunately sans Ishmael, given his feverish state, in an attempt, right, to locate this Gator outpost, base outside. 2, murder all the Gators, with the exception of one Gator. Now, this is important. You gotta leave one Gator alive, and it can't just be any Gator. It has to be a Gator that's high enough up in the food chain to have the intel that Melvin's going to strip from his mind. Very important caveat. Alright? She's laid it out here. So, this is going to run a little differently, gang, than how we normally proceed in our shows, where you're like, alright, everything's dead. Look at that. Oh, it's all dead. And what's that? Intel exposition, it's dead. If you don't get the intel from one of the Gators and you wipe out the outpost without getting it, then they'll be alerted that something's up, that the stacks are moving out, right? And it'll have been for naught. Alright, so it would be less than kosher should we go in there and accidentally or purposefully murder everybody. Not that I feel a need to repeat this again for a 3rd time, but should you guys murder everybody in there? If Samson just wanders in there and just tears a dude in half and then throws him at the other dude, right? It's game over screen, right?
I ask a question.
Yeah.
I require, if possible, manacles or handcuffs, or at the very least, twine, rope, anything to bind a person.
Fortunate son, says Melvin. Don't worry, I can bend them with my mind rope. It's an easy thing.
Physical rope.
Oh, you'll believe in my mind rope when you see Melvin's incredible abilities.
I saved this rope from yesterday that we used to throw the little one into the water.
Excellent.
St. Louis, give me a strength roll. The rope is pulled out of your hand suddenly, right? And it is quite apparent that Melvin is concentrating, both by his fixed gaze and the beads of perspiration running down his goatee face, but also by the fact that his nose is bleeding.
I don't like it when you do that. We've talked about
Can
it.
I grab the rope and try to...
Rope.
Samson's gonna see if he can do a test of strength versus his will.
Yeah, go ahead.
and
Give
coil up the rope.
me a strength roll, Samson. The rope. Oh, Samson grabs it. It's like one of those mime displays, right? Like where you expect it to just get ripped out of the air, right? And blood comes gushing down Melvin's face as he starts giggling. Mind rope! Bearing in mind now that Samson is quite capable of carrying and wielding 800 pounds, right? So the fact that he gave... and Melvin went... right? And the rope stayed fixed. Interesting.
We're still taking the rope, and
He walks away.
I mean, is it technically a mind rope if you take my rope, Melvin?
Is the sheriff around?
If you take it with the mind, it is. Is the sheriff around? Yeah, she is just now entering to see the spectacle, in fact, of the blood running down the front of his face and shirt, gritting like an idiot, the whites of his teeth covered with his own blood. You tugging at this rope that's held just invisibly taut in the air. Now what in the hell is this?
Mod versus matter.
Melvin, save it for the Gators. And he stops. If you insist, yes, yes, your son is still alive. I told you to stop that, Melvin. Yeah? What do you want, Tin Man?
May I ask an unrelated question?
You can ask anything you want. Free country last time I checked. Hell.
Are you familiar with an Admiral Dangle that dwells in this region?
The fella with the high-tech Hellstrom industry gear and cybernetics flicks his cigarette on the ground and he says, "Did you say Dangle?"
Yes, Admiral Dangle.
What are you, a Mark III?
I show him my arm.
You were in service,
Shows me-
what, 10 years before the bombs fell?
Correct. Secret Service under the President. Personal protector of Senator Sampson.
Thank you, Toa. Now what would you want with a Dangle?
I personally protected Admiral Dangle from assassination, as well as several members of his attaché and the Senate and Congress. As reward, I was flown personally by Admiral Dangle
Listen,
to a secret.
that's a lot of fancy words there, man. I don't give a damn about this country anymore, he says, flicking another cigarette butt because it's, it's just dramatic. That's how you would emphasize that point. Maybe flexing, And he says, my care for this country died when they put me in the icebox. But I tell you what, if you help these poor sons of bitches out, I'll take you to Dangle. I know where his cabin is.
Affirmative. Do my best as an able-bodied and servant of the United States of America.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
do my
yeah.
service.
Eagles and stars. Yeah, bullets and bars. Flicking another cigarette butt. Yeah, apparently he just has a pocket full of them to emphasize his points. Just,
Samson actually looks at him and cocks his head a little bit.
I had a dream last night. I remember I used to be quite taken by cigarettes.
Oh, yeah? What about him?
They calmed my nerves. But it is illogical. They do nothing now.
I don't even think you got lungs anymore, partner. Didn't they make like 5 versions after you? Aren't you a bit of a relic, like me?
Everything is a relic. It is all also irrelevant. But I have questions that need answers.
Well, Dangle might be the one to do it. But until I know what you're about, I sure as hell ain't gonna lead you to him. I saw what your kind did back before the shit. I know you guys can turn.
Everyone did something they regretted.
Define your operating protocols, Mark III.
Protect and serve, heart and mind. Confirmation, danger close, still at war. I am currently hostile towards any member of the Southern Legions.
Aren't we all? He says, flicking another cigarette butt.
Current combatant Confederate SEAL teams.
Diagnostic program integrity.
Additional firewalls installed on.
Date comes up like days before the bombs dropped.
And the seals are still intact, even. You're a bit of a treasure, you know that, Rusty? This one's gonna be
There
good
are.
for us, Sheriff. As long as he doesn't flip his shit.
I, as they say, safe and intact.
What's your story, lady? He says, looking at Sabrina. Melvin pipes up. She's going to rule the world. One of many, many of one.
I like this guy. Hi.
You don't seem to have a shooter on you. What do you bring to the team?
My charm.
Charm ain't gonna stop a gator charging at you with his fangs bared and a knife drawn. It's cruel out there in the wasted west. Are you sure you've got the cojones?
Oh, I don't need those. Nobody really needs those.
You get a Benny for that. That's good. That's good. I like that. No, nobody needs those.
Don't worry, don't worry. We're definitely able to handle ourselves. My pet dingy as he's sitting on my shoulder.
She is connected to the others. And just what the hell does that mean, Melvin? You'll see. I don't like that guy.
I think we should listen to him. I mean, well, we gotta hang out more.
I get the feeling I'm not gonna like this guy either. What's your story, funny little man? I assume dragging a fucking huge bag of just bullshit behind him.
Oh, I'm dragging it into the room now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
I'll
picturing
pick it up.
myself like laying it all out on the dock trying to build stuff right there.
Oh lord, if you don't want to participate, you don't have to. I'm just.
But no, that's perfectly acceptable too. Yeah, I'm just walking in, like pulling roughly 250 pieces of components with me. Set of lockpicks, some rope, crowbar, hammer, handcuffs, a shovel.
So you can't fit that in your bike and everybody at this point. That is too many. That's like occupants worth of components. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, I figured as much.
Okay. Just right. It's fine.
And he just kind of like looks at this person inquisitively, just walking in, not even realizing who or what's going on. He's like, What's my story? This is my robot you're talking to."
This ain't your robot. This is a
And
robot of a dying nation.
He climbs up on top of Samson and like pats him on the head, and then just takes a seat.
This bucket of bolts was born out of the fetid corpse of Uncle Sam. Flicking another cigarette butt.
He is the technician that activated me in the military complex.
Ah, so he is a wrench monkey then. Are you one of the normal ones, or are you one of the ones that came after? From the look of you, I'd wager the latter.
One of the normal ones? What do you mean?
Like Tinsdale. Uses his mind, he doesn't use that nonsense.
I don't know what nonsense you speak of.
So he uses the nonsense. He is connected to all things junk, and the junk flows through him. Jesus, Melvin, that is not helpful. So we have a swordsman, a warbot, a midget, and a mole rat. And, well, Melvin.
Samson looks over at St. Louis.
And Mr. Missouri here is supposedly a healer.
I've yet to see that. I have seen them sling a blade, though. You aren't the first mutants to run through here, and the last batch had less than good intentions.
Who are you calling a mutant?
I mean, the mutie. I mean, no offense there, Blackfinger, but you're pretty, I mean, your text diff book. Let's, just in case any of the audience are unfamiliar with Blackfinger's general aesthetic here. You know.
Humor protocols must be rusty. That joke did not track.
Oh no.
St. Louis, Mr. Missouri.
Oh, excuse me. I've never been called Mr. Missouri before. I've never been myself.
Geolocational humor.
That's always painful.
Hey, he made an attempt.
The Mark 6s can at least deliver a punchline.
Shall we start to the killing? I am ready.
Well, I mean, now we're done with the meet and greet. I think we should probably discuss the plan.
Acceptable.
Agreed.
So, they've been patrolling both north and south along the waterfront along here, raiding little campsites. We're the most established settlement in the region, but still, they've been raping, pillaging, taking what they have now for the last 3 months in this area. It must have just come in at that point, or have recently acquired the Delta Queen, their mobile platform. It is currently too fortified for a frontal assault, and aside from that, its mobility means that it's hard to lie in ambush for it. What we need to do is locate one of their outpost bases, neutralize the combatants inside, and gain intel through the use of the funky little goat man here and his magic brain powers. They're not magic, they were a gift from challenging myself in the void. Enough, Melvin, goddamn! Gives me the heebie-jeebies. But that means we're gonna have to do some scouting. And in addition to some scouting, we're gonna have to do some scouting in some dangerous territory. Are any of you especially stealthy?
I was not trained in stealth.
Clearly.
Blackfinger kind of like raises his hand, but as he does so, all of his tools just like loudly clank around on his body.
Yeah, clink, clink, clink. And yeah, like all the trinkets you had shoved that weren't part of the deal into your outfit come tumbling out. Yeah.
I can get around unnoticed if I need to.
Excellent. You should probably take point on this.
The three of us generally focus on shock and awe.
Shock and awe, or shock and awe? Because again, I understand what your purpose is here, but we got the looker and the midget.
I suppose they lull the opponent into false sense of security.
I suppose that will be their function then. But, so, I am going to take Melvin and act as his bodyguard since he is our VIP. We will locate a camp, split into 2 groups, with you guys taking care of the infiltration and neutralization efforts. Upon the clearing of the established area, I will infiltrate with Melvin. He will do the psychic hoodoo. We'll kill the last witness, and we will vamoose with any of their ill-gotten gains. Does that sound like a plan?
Don't worry, old man. We got this.
Old
Did
man.
you say you?
Did you
Huh?
say you will vamoose with ill-gotten gains?
We will vamoose with their ill-gotten gains. Surely if they're in an outpost that's been established long enough for us to find, track, and locate, then they will have some provisions that they have acquired in the time. They don't just set them up for shits and giggles.
Excellent. We will split these all according to need.
Indeed.
I only have one question.
Yes.
Where can I store my scrap until we get back?
That's an excellent question. and not one that I'm equipped to answer. You need to sort out your own possessions and kit before we go. We're traveling light and we're traveling hard.
Those people
Samson just picks all your stuff up and starts wandering off.
Ishmael can watch it. He's not going anywhere.
That's true. Ishmael is not going anywhere.
All right, I'll stop.
That's acceptable.
In fact, his condition has you a little concerned, St. Louis. This guy, it's like a uncle, buddy, mentor. Not doing well for the first time ever. This is the first time you've ever seen him even remotely under the weather, and he's like bedridden now.
Has Melvin ever perhaps mentioned to me that his time is coming?
No, but again, Melvin kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies so far. You could maybe ask Melvin you've never been, hey, Melvin, is my buddy gonna die?
Well, I don't think I care to ask him a whole lot, but I think I can tell that Ishmael might be on his last leg, as it were.
Right. No, it definitely, it doesn't seem like things are going to go well without some kind of dramatic intervention. Yeah.
I mean, he keeps laying with his blade like on his chest, like he's already in repose anyway. So I'm just keeping him down.
It's that eye candy, Johnny. We bring those details. There you go. Yeah. But in order to locate this base of operations, right, we are going to have to do some tracking, which is governed by survival roles. Turns out that Bastion isn't very good at tracking because, it wasn't part of the training that he received as an urban infiltration soldier before he went on ice as part of Operation Damocles. And Melvin would probably be really good at tracking if he wasn't like, don't you see them? All the children that died when the bombs fell are still playing. Not terribly useful as far as he goes. But who would like to attempt the first day's tracking roll to set you on the right path and not a horrific encounter?
Is this a notice roll, or is there an actual tracking skill?
Survival would be the skill we would be using.
Not me.
I don't have that.
I'm more built to survive, like.
I don't need to survive.
Nobody. So, all right. All right. Let's park the bikes.
Blackfinger has survived.
Okay, because you guys.
It's a D4, but he has it.
You guys are wandering around like in a radiated wasteland without like supermarkets and like fresh supplies of water. So.
Be here.
I had no reason.
That's that's fine. That tracks. Yeah, oh shit, Blackfinger. Almost with the race. You almost find it on the first day. It turns out that Blackfinger was the one to come up with the idea of going back to the jet skis that had been exploded on the water pursuit. And sure enough, there were signs that all the important parts had been salvaged and trails of nonsense leading a pretty hardy trail in a general direction that gives you the impression that you are on the right path. Excellent. Wonderful, Blackfinger. I honestly did not expect that, so congratulations. Let's do the second day's tracking roll. Today at a -1, because you're already, or excuse me, a +1. Ha! -1, because you're already on the right path.
All right, I'm just like scurrying along in front of the group, assuming they're following me.
Yep. That tracks.
I got you on a leash.
Holy shit, Blackfinger. Yeah, no, you don't know if it is the Junker spirit, right? Or the, just the basic, like, the essence of the trash that you're using to track just sung to you, or whatever. But yeah, by noon the second day, you are positive you know exactly where they are. Like the bolts that you wear on the necklace around your neck slightly tug, almost imperceptibly towards them. It's, they have lots of scrap, apparently. Because there you are, yes. Outside of an encampment. You are not close enough, of course, to make out much. Aside from that, it appears to be in an old scrap yard. Where there were, like, junked automobiles. You make out a little bit of motion here and there behind the makeshift walls that have been constructed from the rusted out husks of cars. But the main sign of inhabitants is the oily black smoke billowing from where a tire fire has been constructed in the middle for cooking or heat or whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. Anybody have any ideas?
I guess Blackfinger's gonna look around for scrap.
Blackfinger is going to look around for scrap. Blackfinger, go ahead and give me the notice roll. Hey, yeah, there you go. Scrap and components. You find what? Oh shit. Oh shit. $11 worth of bric-a-brac, and then your components roll.
And that is a 1d6.
Sabrina,
Yeah.
Cool.
perhaps you head into the camp, play the role of a lost girl, and try to seduce them as we get into position.
What?
There's no
You will
need to
then,
by the girl.
Did you mean kill them?
correct, you will get close enough with your seduction and play the role of a survivor to kill them as we come in and finish them off.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I don't. Figure something out. It's not gonna work like that.
Do we see any guards or patrol outside?
Not from where you are. You would have to get closer with a stealth roll to get close enough to get eyes on.
Saint Louis Dufresne will proceed onward.
Benny for Samson.
I will go with you as she follows St. Louis.
You will need to give me a stealth roll as well if you are following St. Louis.
I'm gonna try. Nope.
Probably should not have leaned against that stack of cars that go toppling over, clattering quite loudly as St. Louis manages to, dodge roll behind another stack because they don't see you at all. And they don't see Sabrina because it's not a critical failure, but they do see the stack of cars that she ducks behind immediately topple over loudly and clang and roll out, You get the hubcap sound at the end of the comedy album, the clang, 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 like the whole nine.
Right at the feet.
Right, yeah. It's 100%. You know what I'm saying.
Thanks for the distraction.
Right, but with that established, let me pull up the map. Because it's map time. So we have St. Louis Dufresne, Bop. We have Sabrina Devlin, Bop. We have Samson.
One day you'll use a Benny. One day you'll do it.
I will.
And Blackfinger. Yeah, it takes people who are new to Savage Worlds and to the audience, giving them a long time to get comfortable. Not just, no, I might. What if they attack me with a giant guy?
Right. Right.
That tends to happen.
Max Samson around some, so.
You see the map.
You're not allowed to see
There
the
it
map.
is.
That's not.
Oh, there it is.
How dare you
Fine.
ask for the map? What are you, a player? Do I
just
deign
thought
to
I
share
saw
essential
something
outfit access?
You're right.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, clearly on the outskirts of some kind of encampment. You don't have eyes on. You were so close. You were about to peep over when you were immediately diverted by the boom, boom, boom. Clang, 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 and we're there right now. So. That being established, we are going to roll some initiative because they are definitely aware now that the They've been camped here for a few days. None of the stacks have been like, you know what I'm going to do? Fall over by myself. Samson, you'll have an opportunity to opportunely opportune.
I should grab Blackfinger by the leash and pick him up onto my shoulder and sally forth.
I really can't wait for you guys to find a baby Bjorn.
It's easier now. When he's on the ground, if I just tie a rope around him like a leash,
Right.
I can just yank him up onto my shoulder like a little performing monkey. And then I am going to do a normal move.
Your mighty pace
I
of
don't-
4.
I don't see anything on the map.
Not from there, no, it's, hey, you did not
I
get...
see black with fog.
You just see
Yeah.
black with fog? You don't have any line of sight? Click on your token.
I have
line
line
of
of
sight,
sight.
I
It's
have-
just a completely black map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of you have line of sight? They literally broke line of sight. Holy hell.
Well, no, it's like there's no like ground or like
There's
if I
no
look into
graphics.
Twitch, there's fire and stuff. There's just no graphics. It's black. with
Then it's,
fog
yeah,
moving
they
across.
broke the line of sight. We're gonna have to... Can you see now?
See
I can
nothing
see
now,
the
just
other
tokens.
players now.
Yeah, I just see it's
There's
mist
no
and-
map. All we have is the line of sight.
There's literally no map. What in the hell? Fantasy Grounds, you're wonderful. Thank you for being $140 and working 2 weeks ago and then updating and now not working. So the combat map
Grinder
doesn't work
points.
at all. All right, I'm gonna pull it up again and see if maybe refreshing it works, but that's fun. The audience can see it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks great on Twitch.
Yeah, it's such garbage. I swear to God, I'm switching to Foundry, and I'm never gonna look back. And they're gonna cry every night. They're gonna go, "Oh, I wish we could have maintained their customer." Anything now? There's no map for you guys still, is there?
No, I see the
No.
map now.
Oh, wait, you do?
I do, yeah.
Oh shit!
I see all the players, also
Yeah.
all the characters.
But do you
Wait,
see?
Oh, there's that.
Yep, I
it
got a
might
map.
load in a second. There's a question mark loading screen that sometimes is followed by the map spawning
Oh my
eventually.
God.
So
This is
give it a minute.
compelling TV. I am really
Oh,
glad
viewers are going up.
that I spent so much time in my life to prepare the assets for this, and I'm like, right, we're gonna click one button, that map's gonna be up, it's gonna have that bitchin' fog over the top, everybody's gonna go, ooh, ah, and then my players go, are you gonna actually share a map or just some mist?
Ooh.
Okay, from this point, I am just simply going to stand there in sentry mode with my crossbow out.
Yeah, we're just ready. So literally nothing. None of you guys have map at all.
No, I have map.
Oh no, we see the map now.
Oh,
got it now.
geez, sweet mother of God. Okay. How
So we-
about
We're good.
now?
Yep.
Yep.
Line of
It
sight.
works.
And now you have
No,
line of
it's-
sight?
Yep.
Yep.
Sure, Fantasy Grounds. I did literally nothing. Okay, poof. Now it works. Fantastic. All right. Cooking with grease.
Yay.
This is how you produce a quality professional live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. Right here. All right. So, Samson, you have moved forward. You're 4. Nearly into the fire you couldn't have seen. That would have been horrific. I mean, cooked both you to death immediately. St. Louis, you are up.
All right. So when guards obviously heard the clangy that was happening, did they come out or do I see anybody?
You hear shouting. Give me a notice roll at a -1, trying to discern voices from a distance over. Ooh, almost a raise. Not quite, though. There are between 3 and 6 people talking. And yes, they're alerted and they're coming over. You hear though? What the hell? Go check that.
Quick out of character question.
Yeah.
Did we have an idea from Marshall Reynard how many people were going to be in, or how many gators roundabouts, or is that not information they had either?
Oh, total?
Yeah, did they have an idea?
They have seen upwards of 40 at a time, but these kind of groups, they ebb and flow, and they're not sure if that's been the entirety of them.
Okay, sounds good. I am going to continue to move closer.
Mm-hmm.
And preferably stealthily, if
Yes,
I may.
You may. And remember that you can break up your move, act, move. So don't feel obligated to use all your movement at once. You can peep around the corner, go, oh shit, no, come back, peep around the corner, fire off a shot, do whatever,
Sure. Yeah, if I can just move up to the corner to where I might be able to get some eyes inside.
Yep. 1 square, 1 move your pace. Is it letting you manipulate the token? Sometimes it's a little fucky.
I muted myself. Is it to the left or to my right?
Either way, you have that big obstacle in front of you. I would move to your left, frankly, because it looks a little closer on your pace roll.
Okay. I was just making sure I understood what I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see anything there?
If you can see that token across the map, you might need to zoom out a little. If I look at your line of sight, I can see it.
Can you? Okay, cool.
No.
I do not see another token up there.
If you pull all the way up, you can't see other tokens up there now either?
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Nice. All right.
Still getting used to this.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah, of course. Sweat it. First show is always wacky, and this is, believe it or not, people, Fantasy Grounds is not the most intuitive software. You wouldn't have guessed it from all my praise over these many months. But, yeah, no. So, you see a raider with a scattergun and a raider with a melee weapon made out of a no parking sign.
All right. I'm going to try to.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
I keep letting go of my button. I would like to stealth over to this other object over here, if at all possible. I don't know if I have that much movement or not, though.
So you could give me a run over there and a stealth roll, but the stealth roll would happen at a -2 because you were doing so well running, right? And remember that you've used a couple of your pace. 2 negative from whatever your run roll is, and it's your pace plus the d6, so it could not be enough to get over. You could trip feasibly. That being said, as long as you don't critically fail, you can Benny your way over there and Benny your way through the stealth roll. So
sure. I think what I'd like to try to do is head over to this object that's just to my left.
If you drag both your mouse buttons at the same time, you can populate a little arrow. And you can there you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would like to get over to this direction, if I may.
Yeah, you probably have enough pace left to not have to run to the far side of that thing, and give me a stealth roll flat then.
Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and do that.
Oh, my mother of God. So, welcome to the show. Yeah. Now,
it was bound to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, you go to push off away from the thing into your stealth roll, and it was just in neutral, right? And it rustily creaks, right? And moves a couple of feet away, and they go, "That son of a bitch there! Get him! We're gonna eat his brains! I'm gonna eat his dick! You always say that, Carl!" And, so no stealth roll for you. You were definitely spotted.
Yep. Sure. Sounds good.
Sabrina. Talking to Dick Eaton.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, this is actually my kind of people. Never mind, shit.
I know, my ears.
Come in peace!
And, that's what I'm kinda gonna try to angle it as.
I have chutney.
This is my meat. You can't have it. No, let's go.
But if it's taken from like a man's hind, isn't it like buttony? No, just no.
It's all good.
That's no.
Boo.
I actually, or I don't even see where.
All the way across the street, way up there. You can see
Ah.
several of them.
Yeah.
You can see 2 with shotguns, a brawler, and then a raider badass. Standing in the back going, I'm probably the one with the intel.
Is it
You
the
can
typical,
tell because of the skulls on my shoulder pads.
Don't kill Scolder Shoal guy. Check.
Shoulder
Ah.
pad guy? Yeah,
I know,
nice.
those are nice.
We're
I think I'm
portmanteaus
gonna
tonight. Yeah.
try to get some. Get that off of them. But am I next to a tent or is this a box structure?
This is the thing that you pushed over, technically. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna see, I guess hide and wait.
Just gonna chill. You wait for him to come out and shoot
can
the
I hold
Templar.
action of sorts?
You can hold your action.
Yeah.
You
think
can
I'm
go
gonna-
after anybody in the initiative order that you like. I mean, they get to do their whole action, and you go, now I'm going. It's only on the Joker that you can interrupt people in the middle of their actions.
Okay, cool.
But that being said, you want to hold your action until one of them...
Yep, I will hold a spellcasting action. I will pretty much just like under my breath be ready to be casting it until they get closer. I don't want to necessarily draw, screaming skulls across the whole entire field to
Right,
get
right.
more attention. So as soon as they get close to one of my party, I will let loose with power action.
That sounds good. Scattergun Raider is well trained in his combat role and is going to run to his fortification. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wow, he didn't even need to run. He wasted that run, and he finds himself in a little tiny sandbar pillbox there, right? Which means that he can fire out, and any return fire gets a -4 at him. This is an emplacement, a position that's specifically designed to be held down when people come running up on their camp, right? These gators are many things, but they are brutal and violent. That tends to come with a certain kind of intellect, right? And from his position there, he can see, oh man, Sabrina and St. Louis. But St. Louis here was the one that moved the car and was initially spotted there. So he's going to take a pock shot with his scattergun. Now, this is probably going to be nonsense, but knowing how people roll on their face, St. Louis's head explodes into a pile of mist, right? But no, we got the range penalties. We got the -2 from the run. We'll see. Fires off a shot with the scattergun. And misses. The truck beside you gets peppered with shot. All gradual, picks up dust. You're officially under fire, though.
Wonderful. My favorite.
Scattergun Raider number 2 is going to 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, he's just gonna run. He doesn't want the -2. And he's gonna see St. Louis and go, we got to deal with that. And fire off his scattergun. I mean, it's just nonsense. It's just long range. Oh, that's right, because they're sawed off. Yeah, they're woo! They're screaming. They might as well be firing them straight up. I was like, how the hell is that long range? Because they're sawed off 12 gauges. They're not even good shot. They're garbage guns. But that's fine. Not when you get up close. Raider Badass is gonna go fresh meat and rev the ubiquitous mini chainsaw that all these guys seem to carry on their persons. It's like a fashion accessory, it's like that, Prada purse for cannibal Raider dudes. Right? And he is going to give us his agility die. Oh, worst run ever. Maybe I just pretended to be eager. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it would be one more. We get him out there. So he's gonna tuck up and I'll dine on your entrails. The other raiders are like, that's a little blasé, isn't it? At this point, I'll dine on your entrails. You're gonna have to come up with something better than that. Like, really make us believe that you're the sadistic raider king, And they all
I
have
like
the same
the
pace.
gourmands.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Advances across the street, armed only with melee weapons, so is not going to be shooting a goddamn thing. Raider Brawler number 2 is going to run as well. Again, they all have the same pace, so we'll just use Raider Badass here. I should stop using Raider Badass because he has terrible pace rolls. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. There's 2 of them! One of them's a lady. They taste better! Blackfinger, you're on top of Samson's shoulder.
Yeah, so hearing the commotion up ahead, Blackfinger's gonna go ahead and say a little prayer to the junk spirits. And
Big prayer.
he kind of like builds a crow's nest out of junk on Samson's shoulder.
Yeah. That does.
Oh, to protect him from
Oh,
incoming attacks.
yeah. Oh, I see. You're just like, ding, 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 ding. Ha-ha! This'll stop. Excellent. Excellent. Deflection, not a race. +2. Let me drag that on to you. Little buddy. Could really be more armor than deflection, but I'll allow it. I mean, if you want to get technical, right? Because that would just make it harder for you to be damaged, but not harder for you to be hit because you're still a stationary target on top of... Is it not? Oh, come on. It's in Deadlands and 50 Fathoms in the effects, but not in... Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to call that Defend. We'll toss that on you, and it'll just up your parry by 2. Boop, boop. Although I think it's technically to hit total. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Alright, yeah, harder to hit because there's more cover. Yeah, semantically, you can explain it, yeah. How is the crow's nest anchored to Samson? Is it bubblegum?
It doesn't look like it's anchored by anything.
Doesn't look like it should be anchored at all.
I just like stuck up like a rusty stick, and it's just kind of standing straight up on its own.
Good intentions, yeah.
Anyone else would be like, what's going on there?
Uh-oh, Scattergun Raider with the Joker. He's going to hold his action. As is Scattergun Raider number 2, Raider Badass. He's going to... Wow, they rolled really well. Hey, that's better. Pace of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Revs the chainsaw. I'm closer now! They're never very bright, these Raider badasses. Samson. Hey, by the time this is finished, you might be able to see somebody. That pace 4 is so brutal.
I'm running.
Clunk.
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 I should
Clunk.
just run in. That's why I want to run into battle before anyone else. All right, here I'll roll.
As
Roll
soon as
that.
we get seasoned,
Pace
Samson.
die. Okay, I get 6 this time. Okay.
Yeah, added 2. Mighty pace.
Wait. I can I can see one.
Yeah.
I can see the Raider Badass.
Yeah, you can see Raider Scattergunner too there. Well, maybe not. I'm not sure how your line of sight works on that. They're in the pillbox across the way there, but...
I'm looking at the modifiers for called shots. I think I want to try to shoot the chainsaw out of the badass's hands.
If you want to disarm him, right, it's a called shot -3 to the hand, and then the damage has to be better than his strength roll. So
disarm is limb called shot, which is -2, but -3 is fine. All right, and it has to be damage greater than what?
The greater than whatever he rolls for his strength to hang on to it.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna try to blast his chainsaw out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get them fighting
Wait, can you see
rolls.
Raider Badass from there?
Yeah, I see him.
Oh, yeah, sure enough. I
see
had
him.
Blackfinger's line of
Yeah.
sight up. Yeah, you got him. Yeah, go for it.
It's -3?
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna spend a Benny.
That was your fighting roll, too. You're going to want to shoot and roll on that.
Oh. that's
From
even
whatever
worse.
weapon
Okay.
you're using to,
Alright. Do you want me to re-roll that then? Or?
yeah, re-roll it on the, using the attack from your combat tab, remember?
Oh yeah, combat. So different than it used to be. Alright. Crossbow. There we go.
Yeah, you see, that's why we do it. That'll do. Mm-hmm. Now roll your damage.
Damage, okay. AP2 on the badass.
Yeah, that's probably going to knock it out of his hand here. Let's see here.
And I'm intending to do damage to him. It looks like you can do that with a called shot disarm. You can do damage.
I'm going to have to read that. Let me see here. It seems like it would be one or the other, but...
Maybe not.
Yeah, because you're
I just
damaging the weapon, or well, his grip. You're applying the damage to knock the thing out of his
Maybe
hand.
the damage is just to the weapon. I don't know. It's
We have an
Okay,
expert
cool.
in Toa here. He generally knows these things. Oh.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, so you don't get the raise effect or aces. So re-roll that damage.
Oh, okay. No raised effect or aces.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you,
Okay.
Toa.
Oh, that's a little less. Okay,
That is a
5.
little less. Let's get the strength roll. Ooh, tied. What in a tie, though? It has to beat. Let's see here. Defender must make a strength roll equal to the damage. So, yeah, you hit it, but he hangs on to it.
Benny,
Right?
can I do that on
Yep.
damage?
Yes.
Just need to beat a.
Bearing in mind that Raider Badasses are wild cards, and he's going to Benny that shit, too, if you do better than 5. He's not trying to drop
Okay.
as many chainsaw. It's like character defining.
Yeah, but that thing could jack people up, so I want to.
Well, yeah, no, you've made a good call. I'm just as a GM being
Yeah. Oh, well.
needlessly
Oh,
cruel there.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you did it. Boom. Excellent. Yeah, you knock it out of his hand, clatters to the ground, and he's super upset. He's trying to disarm.
Does it break it or no? It just.
If you're trying to break it, that's different. You gotta beat its toughness
Oh,
by a raise.
I see. Okay.
And it is tough 10. So,
Oh, okay. So I have to beat it with a raise. I got it. All right, that's all I can do.
that's
Right,
fine. Hey,
right.
you
Yeah.
disarm the guy. Let me see, do they have the state here? I don't think they do either. I need to go back through here and make a note to custom program all this nonsense in here. That's fine, though. Alright, excellent. You have disarmed the mini chainsaw. He's going to have to spend around picking that up and revving it up again, because you're a dick. I wanted to use it on St. Louis. St. Louis, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Since I am out in the open, I'm gonna cast Deflection on myself.
Hell yeah, you are. Now, is it all you're going to do this round, or is that you're going to do something else?
If I could move as well, I was
Yeah.
gonna move. And
Mhm.
is Deflection count as a full action though?
Yeah, you would do the action. So if you want to do attack, it would be multi-action penalty to do like deflection and attack. But move and deflection, that's fine. You can move in action. So
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do Deflection this round.
Okay.
And I may even just let them come to me.
yeah,
I'm not sure because with those scatter guns, I don't particularly want to get too in range too soon. So yeah, I'm just gonna cast Deflection and hover near.
should be said. Why don't you give me a common knowledge roll?
I don't believe I have that.
Uh-oh. Oh, give me an unskilled. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know shit about shit. Yeah, you have no idea how much ammo they have on them.
Okay, yeah. Nah, guns are not a thing that I deal with too often.
Yep.
So I need to roll for that deflection though, right?
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I need your spell casting for the deflection.
Got a set, boss.
Excellent. So you get a +2. Now, is it... Let's hope Hell on Earth is one of the ones. I didn't pull it up on him, but does it have the... Yes, it does. Excellent. Yay! So I just need to keep deflection down on my hotbar in all these games because everybody uses it. It is such a boss ability. St. Louis has it. We'll get ready to defend, and we'll put it on Blackfinger as well because he put it on himself. Excellent. All right, we're all statted up for automation.
Thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And you gonna move?
Actually, I'm gonna hover roundabouts here.
Okay. Sabrina.
Yeah, they're still a little too far away for what I'm hoping, but that was probably a pretty loud chainsaw. I mean, and my things were pretty loud as well. And I'm getting bored
Mm-hmm.
sitting back here.
That's the real
So,
problem.
yeah, that's the main one. I think I'm gonna cast a couple screaming skulls at the guy and then move and take some cover.
Yeah, that sounds good. Mm-hmm.
So brawler 2, because I know I want to keep the raider alive.
Oh,
and,
thinking ahead.
Yeah, we already got him down.
Charging one of your luminous purple screaming skulls to
Yeah,
thrust
I
outward at the enemy.
step out to the side and just your standard screaming skull.
Pew pew. Not juicing her.
Nope, not a juice.
Excellent. Hit him. Excellent. Yeah, tears into his torso, its spiritual teeth gnashing through his soul. He falls to the ground, eyes lolling back into his head, quite dead.
Awesome. And then I'm gonna step back. Actually, do I have to roll for the pace?
Only if you're running.
After that, not gonna run. I just want to take.
No, yeah, just take your normal movement.
There we go. We'll go back to cover and chuckling.
Alright. Raider Brawler's up. Gary! They killed Gary! And he's going to run in. That's right, not everybody's name's Skullfucker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, close enough that he is going to... they don't have taunt. Boo. He's going to go, I wish I had taunt!
Something really good to say.
Alright. I'm going to be in the shower tomorrow and I'm going to be like, yeah, well, go back to Indiana Jones's finest film and tell him which cup to drink out of. Yeah, that would have been it. That would have been the one. Yeah. But, Blackfinger. From inside your armored shroud atop the 10-foot-tall warbot.
Yeah, he's just gonna, like, shove his crossbow arm out the hole in front and take a shot at that brawler.
Yeah. The one who's too preoccupied coming up with a really good Last Crusade-based dish for St. Louis. Yeah, and bolt goes whizzing through the air past their head. You gonna spend any bennies, or you gonna camp on them?
I'll spend one.
There we go. There we go. See, that's why we spend bennies. Crossbow bolt actually bounces off a car and comes ricocheting back as he intended the whole time, but the lack of velocity from the ricochet means that it only ends up shaking him. So shaking's better than nothing as we go into the next round. St. Louis Dufresne up first with the Joker bonus. Can go whenever they want this round. Get a +2 to everything, which should be automated. We'll make sure, though. And, yeah.
I was just saying, one question. He's still not close enough to trigger my first strike, right?
He is not. Now he needs to be adjacent. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Let's
Benny's for all. Well, no, we don't have the Joker Wild going right now.
I'm gonna hold for now. If somebody would like, if who's next?
I'm turning it off on Deadlands. They have a limited Joker or Benny pool for some reason in the system that makes absolutely no sense, and I don't understand how to increase it. Or there's like 20 Bennies total in the whole pool, so Joker Wild regularly breaks it. It's a fun rule, but until I can figure that out, I can't really use it effectively. I'm sorry, just a little backstage there. So.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and take it since he's gonna act before me, or if I hold my action, he will go next. I'm gonna go ahead and step into melee with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, that way, if Raider Badass, gets in close to you, still have that first strike for when the next one tries to run past you or into range too. You're not wasting it yet.
Sure. I am going to draw Repentance, and I am going to turn you from your wrongdoing and repent, sinner. And I'm gonna take a slice.
That's good to know, Toa. Yeah, I will remember to drag it over his token, but I will, well, let me do that. It does hit. Yes, excellent.
Can we speak out of turn by chance?
Never.
Yeah.
How dare you? Yeah, what, man?
Oh, Samson was just going to say a quick thing that he just thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Both in his mind. So he just had a click in his brain, his slow-moving brain, of a clever idea. He's pretty sure that guy that she's cleaving into might be the target we might want to capture.
Mm-hmm.
So at the same time, he's very skeptical of these psychers. He's going to look at him and in his mind's eye think, this is the target, come capture him. At the same time, he's going to say out loud and point, do not kill that one. Take it alive. That's just his free thing he's going to say for the round.
St. Louis, or I look, after I've made my hit, I will look back and say,
Yeah, he could take a
A
hit.
little late for that.
Oh, he could take a hit to soften him up, yeah.
Sure. Pulling my punches is not something I typically do, but I will keep that in mind, Samson.
There's St. Louis for the audience too, BT dubs, since I haven't actually done the full badass scrawl.
Just so the rest of the party doesn't just go ham on it this whole round.
They can call a non-lethal shot, yes. You're stealing all my fun, Toa. Are you gonna call non-lethal?
Who, me? Well, I mean, did I hit him that well? Yeah, go ahead. I can go ahead and call non-lethal, sure.
Yeah, well, we need your damage roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it a negative to hit too? Because you have to hit like improvised weapon with the pommel of a sword or something like that, as opposed to the intended function.
If so, do I need to apply that right now?
Oh no, go ahead. Just play. Well, I'm just asking for future reference here. Eh? So right here is a bit encyclopedic. Excellent. Yeah, he's dead or wounded, if you prefer, or incapped.
Okay. Sorry.
Do you want him dead or unconscious?
I'll say unconscious.
Flat of the blade, yeah.
Excellent.
Side of the head.
Yeah.
Gave him a shave. Took a finger.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He is incapacitated. And not going next now. Sabrina.
walk around the corner and see what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to congratulate them and say we better get out of the way from those gunners out there. Over there, I think they are. 3. And try to do just that. I think I've done my moves though, so I'm gonna stand right there
All right.
and try to hide in plain sight, but not really.
Yeah. Scattergun Raiders are going to hold their position. They're just not trying to let anybody get into a camp. Raider Badass is going to pick up and rev his chainsaw. Ring, ding, 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 ding. Now I'm going to really get you. And Samson just disarm him again. Tank.
I thought that was the okay. So
No, you insisted they incapacitate the brawler. You remember the Raider Badass will have the yellow ring around it. It'll say Raider Badass when you
I
mouse
thought
over
the
it.
brawler was the.
No, I just let you run with it, man. Yeah, programming's faulty.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the guy. Too. That was my bad.
Yeah, I thought it was the.
Now remember, yellow ring, and if you mouse over their tokens, you'll get their names. Raider Badass is the one with the intel, not Raider Brawler.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just incapacitate everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Look at how friendly you were.
What fun is
Is it
that?
a full round to reload a crossbow?
I forget. Well, I need to look at which crossbow. There's a
Reload
repeating
one.
crossbow. Yeah, so it's a full action to reload the crossbow. So you can reload the crossbow and then fire it with a multi-action
that'll-
penalty.
That'll take my action. So I'm just going to 1.
Mine says
Go.
it takes an action in both hands, but it's on my wrist, so I don't know how.
Only go up to there. I'm gonna just take a defense action.
Your third little
Right
baby
there.
arm.
I'm just gonna stand right there, take a defend action,
Okay.
so people behind me can be protected.
Word. That's fair. You guys holding the line there. 10-foot
Yeah.
tall ward bot and hobo crusader.
Crossbows put away, machetes in my hand now, and
Yeah. Teeny
defense.
tiny
Yeah.
machete. Alright, Blackfinger. Did you hop off Samson, or are you still riding him?
No, I'm still riding him.
All right.
Sorry. I guess.
Thing.
I guess I'm just gonna hide in my little hut
You're just gonna hide in your little hut.
and reload my crossbow.
Yep, mm-hmm. A strange, frantic jerking motion coming from in there. Oh, he's just cranking the crossbow. Get your mind out of the gutter, God. What's wrong with you, Samson? Jeez.
Here, a power saw and then a drill.
Alright. Just like one of those, the hydraulic,
Sparks are
like,
shooting out
pit
of the
stops.
hose.
Yeah. Like when they change the tire, you know, in like a NASCAR or whatever. They're vroom, vroom, a little bolt driver, yeah. Mm-hmm. St. Louis Stefan. You up?
Yes, yeah. Already, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It change initiative every round.
So I am going to just step on this guy that I incapacitated and walk over him and approach Raider Badass.
Mm-hmm. Fresh meat!
And he's got the chainsaw, correct?
Yeah, it's a little mini chainsaw. It's like, one of those chainsaws that you would have used to trim hedges that has been altered to be like a little hand sword.
Sure. He's gonna take another whack at him with repentance, and can I called shot to cut off his hand that is holding the chainsaw?
You definitely can. Yeah, you can, the hand, -3 on the hand there. And then, Oh shit! Yeah, if you do enough damage to wound him on a -3 to hit, we'll let you sever that hand.
Okay, cool.
Call.
Yeah, that's gonna hit, and with a raise. So go ahead and roll that damage there. Probably gonna sever his hand. So yeah, you have severed his hand, which he is. He stands there staring for a second as an anime blood fountain starts to spurt out. And it occurs to you, with that victorious slash as the mini chainsaw goes spiraling off with his wrist, that, oh shit, he's bleeding quite a bit.
That's the target that I was mistaken
That
about.
being said,
Yeah, that's all I can do,
he's
right?
gonna sit there and go, oh, my chainsaw, my hand! How am I supposed to chainsaw people? Where's my chainsaw hand? Ah!
I like how he was more concerned with the chainsaw than his hand.
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you know how hard it is? Despite the fact that all of them seem to carry one, it's a status symbol, right?
And everybody has hands.
Everybody, yeah, you can always get another hand.
I can't do anything else, right? So like I can't like tear a strip off my from the bottom of my tabard and wrap it around.
Nah, you would have had to declare it when at the attack,
that's
so we
fine.
could have gotten the multi-action.
No worries. So he's just gonna bleed for a little bit.
Yeah, he is definitely just gonna bleed for a little bit. It was his second favorite hand. Sabrina, yeah, another handshake ingredient. Just chilling on the ground. We already got one recipe.
I'm
Just
keeping
gonna toss
track.
you all the things that I cut
My
off.
hands,
Right.
my fingers. So we've got that guy. You've got him pretty well. I'm gonna. What? So we don't need this guy down here, right?
Never did.
Nope.
Point to him. Okay, I'm just going to take my cleaver.
Inefficient.
Oh no, he is incapacitated currently. So what I need you to do is describe quite graphically
Oh, lovely.
how you coup de grace him. Yes, no, he has. There's no. You don't have to roll to hit. He's just lying there unconscious. You just.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as I slowly walk up next to him, keeping eye on the gunners, I look down and we don't need this guy, right? We don't want him coming back. I'm gonna reach down, run my fingers through his hair, lift his head back, take my cleaver, and just start slicing into his neck, just
Oh
carving it
man,
off.
ISIS
And then
film.
I'm gonna kind of lift it back and like just and then it's not coming loose. So I'm gonna have to step on like his back, on his neck, and then I'm gonna go from the other side
Yeah.
and just kind of whack whack whack. I'm gonna get it loose and it's gonna kind of shake and a little gooey. And
How are the production values on this snuff film? Do you have the drum beat going there in the background and the Arab lady wailing plaintively? Because I swear to God, I've seen this somewhere before.
This is really the only good use for them, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take his head and wait. We can't throw, can we? Can I drop kick it?
You can definitely give me a throwing roll.
Let's see. We don't have the throw. Oh, is it just an unskilled?
Yeah,
or...
unskilled. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to throw it to the gunner area in the back. So
Oh my lord, it'll never make it there. But
yeah, no,
especially not with a. Yeah, no, you go and it lands like a foot away from you. Yeah.
Laugh even more.
Take that.
You throw like a girl, lady. Like.
Yeah, that's
I've never understood that you
Yeah.
throw like a girl, but yeah.
Come a little closer and say that, please.
You didn't even throw us dinner properly.
All right, no, we're fine in our pillboxes, thank you.
I can cook you dinner, please. Please come. I will definitely cook you into dinner.
Samson,
Raider.
badass raider. My hand, my crossbow, or my chainsaw. Also my crossbow, but.
I know there's people in the pillboxes. I don't really care. They could fire at me.
All right.
I in my mind's eye, I tried to communicate with that psyker to get over here. I think he's full of malarkey. They ditched us. So I've got a card. I am going to dig deep. Oh, I need to get a ruling to see if this card will work first. I am going to try to dig deep into hidden agency interrogation techniques with the revelation card. Hero
Okay.
finds all the information available when doing research, realizes critical information when confronting an obstacle, such as weaknesses, answers to riddles, ciphers, etc. And I'm going to use that
you
card
could
in place of
definitely
advanced interrogation.
use this card. Yeah.
I am going to get up to him, and I'm going to now proceed to pull up hidden protocols of agency interrogation techniques. And
Well-
just get this done now.
I'm not even sure you're gonna need hidden agency interrogation techniques, because he's gonna say, "I'm getting woozy, man. I'll tell you anything you want to know if you just patch my arm." Anyway.
Yeah, that somebody else will need to do that for me. Because we got to keep this. guy
Oh,
alive.
Raider Steve, it's starting to get dim. Vision's fading around here. Not Raider Badass anymore. I'm Raider Steve. I need 2 hands to be Raider Badass.
So that's my round is doing everything in the book, like by the book, to interrogate the information we need out of him, and I will rely on other people to stabilize him. That's what I'm
Excellent.
doing.
Blackfinger.
Okay, so question here.
Answer
Can I
here.
do some sort of weird science power to just plug the stub where his hand used to be?
Yeah, I mean, if you have healing in the repertoire, well, I mean, there's weird science healing. You want to build, if you want to use your junker gadgeteering and components to attempt to construct some kind of blood staunching cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah.
I just didn't know if healing was one of the non-allowed spells.
Oh, I don't think so.
It's pretty cheap. It's cheap skill.
Yeah,
I can't do greater healing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Healing is novice. It's just about everybody gets healing.
Okay, yeah, I'll do a weird science roll then.
Alrighty. Yeah, that'll do. Give me a healing.
I'm gonna actually drag it onto my character sheet.
Yeah, with that revelation card, while he's healing him, probably a little finger cap opens. I inject him with talking serum with LSD in it, and just start interrogating him.
That's not gonna help. Why? He's gonna give you the info. You don't need to be giving him well-expired, mind-altering. There. Does anybody else smell the blue? That's not gonna help. Yeah, no, you construct this little scrap thing with a little barb on it that you jab into his stump and
just run up and shove it in.
Alright, it stops the bleeding. Doesn't feel great, but he's like, I guess that'll work. Nice. Stumpy Steve, that's what they'll call me now.
I even left you an attachment. I gave it a little attachment to where he can put a fake arm or something on there if he wants to later.
Oh, I just assumed it was a corkscrew or it vibrated or something for some reason, but yeah, no. It was very nice of you to allow him a little screw on, where he can put in his hook or something. It just
exactly.
Told you what time it was, but only at 2 in the morning, It's 2 in the morning! Shut up! Just...
Right.
But...
Oh, that's Scattergunner. What is he gonna do?
He is gonna hang the fuck out in his pillbox because his mama didn't raise no fool and take a shot at Samson. Probably running precious low on ammo at this point. 2 shots each? What is this? The Ritz-Carlton? What a waste. What a waste. Scattergunner number 2 is going to take another shot at the 10-foot-tall warbot dude, because come on. And what a waste.
I don't even notice. It's like ping ping.
You hate to see it. Yeah, it's like they hit you with rock salt. Raider Badass is still going to sit there and go, yeah, whatever you want, man. I just, don't kill me. Do you have any expired candy? Ain't my first rodeo.
The Spitsman.
St. Louis, you're up. 2 scattergunners and pillboxes across the way. No idea how much ammo they have, but they certainly are not long-range weapons, what they got going there. Sawed off, wide spreads.
Does, with the healing roll that Blackfinger did, is the guy in front of me okay now, or at least gonna live?
Yeah, he's not bleeding out. He certainly doesn't feel amazing, but
Okay. Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and it does say that my deflection is about to expire, so can I go ahead and cast that again, or is that my whole act?
I mean, that would be in action. You could do it, and another thing if you cast.
I'll go ahead and do the multi-action.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of cover are these guys back here?
What guys back in where?
The scattergunners.
-4 to range, nothing if you get up on them and hit them with your sword.
Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead and pass deflection.
And I need to put GM bennies on. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
That's a -2, correct?
Yeah.
For multi-action.
If you're gonna do another action this round, for sure. Excellent. Oh, and that is with a raise even, so a -4 this time.
Nice. All right, and then I will move forward. Zoom out just
Deflection's on. I was like, really? In the crossfire of the scattergunner? Yeah, the -4. They ain't gonna hit you. They ain't gonna do a damn thing. It's gonna plink off the shield of your righteous faith.
That's right.
Raider Brawler was killed.
It is a stop sign.
She swings, repents at the Raider scattergunner, and strikes him. Just shaking him unless she spends a Benny to reroll damage.
You know what? Why not?
Yeah, we're getting on the end of the show. Do it. Really, I didn't realize that about extending abilities either.
Dang.
Wow.
I'll go ahead and do...
Yeah, keep it up. They reset, so spend them. One of these days, I'm actually going to learn the rules of the system I run 3 times a week. Not today.
Do it.
Wow. Keep going. Spend that Benny.
Why not?
No, I know.
Slash, slash, slash. No, wait, gang, I swear. Slash. Slash. No, I'm gonna slash.
Well,
Okay, now I'm just tired.
Right?
yeah, now I'm shaking. No. I'll do one more.
Just roll a 6.
Nope, it's not gonna happen.
Oh my god. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
Odds there.
Poor. They are poor. That was you're rolling exception like everybody does on their first time on the show, just like garbage. So
well, I'm hitting well.
You are.
A lot after that.
You are. Nick, 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 Nick. All right, Sabrina.
Okay, dusting my hands off. Where is Dingy?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Yeah, has he been kind of wandering around?
Yeah, let's throw Dingy out on the field.
Just see
Lapping
where
up
he
blood.
ended up in his meanders. Like,
Bam.
he's lapping up blood.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Oh, okay. So we've still got those two to contend with. Hey, Dingy. I'm gonna kind of nudge him a little bit and see. Why don't you kind of nonchalantly, like creep over behind those guys and check out and see what's going on while I'll go this way and, make a distraction like I always do.
Dingy.
I've been in that. I've been in.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that.
No problem.
Okay. So I want him to kind of go to the left, or perhaps, and I'll
Oh,
take off
that's
to the.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's his movement.
Okay.
Do you want him in line of sight of the people to cast through, or do you want him hidden?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
I'm hoping he can kind of go behind, get some eyes, see how many people are there, / cast behind into the nest. So
Looks like
and
it's
while
just the two guys that are rocked up and the incapacitated fellow with the one hand at this point.
while he does that, I'm gonna try to get to the guy that's St. Louis
What's-
is messing with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's St. Louis doing with Dingy?
Huh? What? There. What? Do you guys see the tokens jacked up? Dingy should be all the way over on the.
No, if you look on the
I had
video,
a cat. One of my cats was.
that's on
Oh.
screen.
Oh. Okay. I was like, what the hell?
Bring him back here. So I'm gonna try to get to do a similar move to whereas I can actually get into range of the guy, but I can't. So I shall taunt him from afar.
Are you going to actually taunt him?
No, I'm just gonna do
Don't
a
you have a
mass
range
parry.
attack?
You do. You do have the screaming skull. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it,
think
you
it was
get
in
him so
a
easy.
like
oh,
a.
it's a -4 to hit him, but you could still cast it. You know.
Okay, shit. Then I'll do that. I'll show you how it's done. Let's give a juiced one for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Yep, that guy right there. I'm gonna take my time and kind of come a.
-4. That does not do it.
No. Okay, I'm gonna do it again, and I will
You gotta
actually add
add the -4.
Drop
the
a Benny.
-4. Done, and then 4. Wait, is that positive or negative?
Mouse roll down is negative.
There's negative, I believe. It doesn't actually say it. There we go. Fuck.
Those sandbags are putting in work tonight.
See, I knew I shouldn't
Oh,
have
you
tried
get a
it.
bunch of those.
Yeah, I got one more. Oh, no, that was.
Hey, oh, no negative applied
Oh,
though.
yeah, no
Negative.
negative.
God.
You get
You have to do it every time.
You do, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, last shot, and then I'm gonna slink away, and not really slink.
No, you're gonna stand right there because you spent your movement right in front of shotgun range.
I'm gonna look down at my
Yeah.
shoes.
Fortunately, there's a melee guy right there that he's probably gonna be more preoccupied with, but
Never mind me.
right.
Uh,
If it wasn't for the fact that it was a sawed-off shotgun, you would both be safe. But yeah, that's all right, Samson. Nope. Why can
I
I?
am taking him, wrapping
Uh-oh.
him up. What?
My fantasy ground seems to be frozen.
Oh.
Ah!
I don't know if
Unity.
what this action is considered, but I mean, in the process of interrogating him, I'm wrapping him up with my rope and picking him up so he's behind me or in my arms, and I'm carrying him to safety just in case one of his compatriots wants to silence him. so I can go interrogate him in peace.
That is well and good. I think at this point that the scattergunners are probably disliking their odds and are willing to negotiate. You just taking that guy and eating him or whatever, if you just let them wander on their lonesomes.
Yeah, I got my target. I'm going back behind where Blackfinger is with him to just continue my interrogation. That's cool.
Excellent. Yeah, they're willing to disengage if you're willing to disengage.
Oh yeah, I don't even acknowledge their existence.
I mean, there's still St. Louis there with the sword, swinging away at old boy with the sandbags.
The mission that
I'm,
we were given was
yeah.
to get rid of them, except
All
for
of
one.
them.
Yeah, I'm on mission. I'm on mission. I'm doing my thing.
You're
You
failing
guys
the
can do
mission.
whatever you want with the rest of them.
Yeah, St. Louis is probably going to stay in combat.
Me too.
I'm out of combat.
Excellent. Well, with
Blackfinger is with Samson.
I think we are going to have to wrap it up mid-combat, not just because we are out of time, but because my Fantasy Grounds Unity is literally hard-locked, and I can't click anything, which is super fun. $140 I spent on this license, ladies and gentlemen, and it's been worth every penny. Man, definitely. I recommend that you go out and pay the... Oh, and by the way, that's just the beginning. That's just so you can share the modules that you purchase for Fantasy Ground. I'm about $3,000 into this software, and it's... Oh, it's wonderful because that's it. But... with that established, that's going to be our show tonight. 2 double technical issues. Hopefully that means we got them out of the way for next week, too. If you liked what you saw, which, I mean, Jesus, I don't know. It got wacky there a couple of times. Then follow us and subscribe. Join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Do all that good stuff. If you didn't like what you saw, I don't know why you're still here. What, just to like hate watch? Are you hate watching us? That seems weird and egotistical. Who does that? That's some weird stuff. But from the League of Gentlemen Explorers to yourselves, may your dice always roll hot. And have a fantastic evening. Thanks for watching, guys. Is it not gonna let me click through on Streamlabs either? Is my whole computer just